What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pat Cave. This is the Batwing that my dad put together for my birthday this year. And this is it mounted up on the stand. The stand is actually like a TV stand that he got off of Amazon. And I'll go ahead and put a link below for that too. So if you want to see, if you want to mess with one yourself, you can always do that. It has a lot of articulation, you know, you can swivel it and then kind of move these screws up under here and sort of shift the, you know, the angle of the Batwing. I kind of had to move it to get it where I wanted it. This is how it is right now. It's kind of in the corner of this room. This is just the spot that made the most sense just because it's least in the way. There's no doors or anything that need to open nearby. And it's pretty close to the ceiling, as you can see, so that's kind of from far away what, you know, what it looks like. And I've got a light just right up against it to hopefully give you some good detail on there. This is the Gambody Batwing from Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. And there's some of the detail, you know, he did these, the scissors on the front there. I think normally those are meant to be able to close and like retract inside, but it didn't end up working out, I think, with the way the prints were happening. And there's Batman himself inside there, and some detail on the wings and the little fins there that flip up. And he did all these little tiny white markings, which you can see these on the studio scale one, but most people don't notice they're there in the movie just because of how dark it is. And you've got the minigun over on this side, and the Gambody file has a minigun on this side as well, right there. And he actually filled that in and covered it up just to make it a little bit more accurate, as it's only supposed to have the one. And it's got the correct gold color. He did the lights for these wings. And underneath, you can kind of see a little bit of the way it's attached in there. There's a plate. Let me get my phone, actually, I'll show you. Add a little bit of light so you can see. So hopefully that gives you some idea. It's kind of a mess under there. And the reason is that you don't see any of this, you know, when this thing's mounted up here. You're not going to be under here looking at the bottom of this. So a lot of the bottom's really just unfinished, but he sort of poured a resin plate and added screws in there and then customized it so it would bolt onto this TV stand. That part I can't really be any help with, but there's the battery pack there mounted underneath. And I think originally he was going to put it in the cockpit and decided that it's going to be a lot easier to get to here. So I will turn that on so you can see. There's a little switch that's on the other side. Tiny switch. There we go. And turns the fin lights on here, or the wing lights, and then it turns on the cockpit lights. Might be hard to see from this angle, but hopefully you can see a little bit there. And you can, you know, if you want to see that in better detail, you can always look at my other video, but that hopefully gives you a good idea of how I ended up displaying this whole thing. And like I said, this is the Gambody Batwing from 1989. And it's sized to, I believe it was 1/10 scale to fit this Batman. This Batman figure was, I think 1/12 actually, but he fits in this just fine. I think when we scaled the files that came off the website, we did 1/12 at first, and I think in my earlier videos I show that there, it just, I don't know, I can't really say why, but he just looked a little bit too large in the chair, so we ended up scaling it up, and then this is what we went with, and it turned out perfectly. And he did like a gunmetal base coat for the Batwing, and then did all the accents with black. And that's what we got. I hope this lighting's sufficient. I have this huge light right up to it. I actually shot this video once before, and it just looked way too dark, so I redid it. And this cockpit, my friend 3D printed. My dad tried to do it at first, and it looked okay, but I know he wasn't happy with it. It wasn't super clear. And my friend has like a professional 3D printing company, and he was able to do these two pieces, and they just turned out basically like, you know, just like super transparent and perfect. So I'm glad we spent a little more on that, because it ended up, you know, helping a lot with the cockpit lights and stuff to be able to see the figure in there. And he did that extra Batmobile too, so eventually I'll do a video on that too. I just haven't had a lot of time, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video though, and hope to catch you soon here. Thanks.